Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harakwadash. Double honors to the Apostles' Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim tuning to these videos. Alright, so the topic of this video is going to be about the sedition among men. All these turmoils that's happening, within countries. All the people are rioting. But I'm not going to get into these articles that much. I'm just going to read, the first parts of it. Because it's pretty much the sedition among men, and all this stuff that's going to lead to martial law. It's happening all throughout the four corners of the earth. Namely right now, Hong Kong, and then recently in Minnesota because of a Trump rally, and then over here in Mexico, there was a mayor that was dragged in the streets by a truck because he wasn't fulfilling the promises to to the people that elected him. So I'm gonna read this article first. It says, Mexico mayor tied to truck dragged through the streets amid reported anger over unfulfilled campaign promises. It says 11 people were arrested in southern Mexico on Tuesday after the mayor of their village was dragged out of his office, beaten, and then tied to a pickup truck and dragged throughout the streets of the town, according to officials. The state's attorney general office in Tuxtla Gutiérrez said in a news release that the incident happened early Tuesday in the town of Las Margaritas. Then, when a group of people stormed Mayor Jorge Luis Escandon Hernandez's office and caused damage to real estate in addition to assaulting him. Pretty much they killed this guy, this elected official. Let me see if I can play a video. So this is the mayor right here. These people are fed up. Because pretty much right now, during Esau's reign of the world, whoever you elect, whether it be an Israelite or whether it be whoever, they're all going to play a part in pushing Esau's rulership. And that's pretty much what was happening with this official specifically. I don't know, I guess he wasn't building the roads. He was just basically got a comfy job sitting down taking orders from the so-called white man, over here down in Mexico. And right here, this is an article was posted, October 11th, 2019, here at Caragma, and it says Minnesota nice, not entirely, as Trump supporters and protesters square off outside rally. And you got the Trump protesters, and they're burning a whole bunch of MAGA hats. And I didn't really read the articles. I read it, but there wasn't really enough information to bring out this video. It's pretty much, it was a Trump rally, and people were going crazy. Let me see if I can play a few clips. The cops over here extinguishing it. This is all spoken in the scriptures, because this is the sedition among men. These are the the wars and rumors of war, that pretty much was going to happen before the return of Yahweh Shai. And then over here, this one was also posted October 11th, 2019. And it says Trump says Hong Kong protests movement will take care of itself soon. As all the people over here, and if he says soon, but this has been going on for a good minute. I don't know exactly. I think it started in June, but then it's pretty much gotten worse, as bad as the French riots. And specific, I'm just gonna read this part of the article. It says Hong Kong is bracing for another weekend of protests, even as the city continued to clean up from a destructive wave of demonstrations last week that shut down malls, supermarkets, and much of the transit system. The protest began June 9th in opposition to Chief Executive Carrie Lam's now withdrawn legislation that would have allowed extraditions to mainland China. Pretty much people are tired, and these are the signs of the times. Alright, so I'm going to read these precepts. This is Matthew 24:12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And iniquity is abounding with these rulers. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and we already know who the wicked is, and it is just a puppet of the wicked, but pretty much he's in that same family bloodline of the elites, the Edomites, saying it bluntly. Yeah, so people aren't gonna get any rest. Like all these seditions, all these riots, it's not gonna happen pretty much until the big explosion happens. World War III, those thermonuclear missiles fall, and Yahweh Shai returns and sets the rightful rulers of this earth into power. So real quick, I'm gonna read this precept, and this is Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the Salakia, I'm gonna have to fix that one day." It says Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." And right now, the wicked are bearing rule. That's why you got all these people. They can't have any. They pretty much can't take any break. This is just a whole bunch of oppression. And this is Ecclesiastes 7 verse 7. It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." And these wicked elites, they're just pretty much pushing out nothing but oppression. Pretty much, if you don't abide to their wicked standards, you're gonna get oppressed in this place. So real quick, this is an article that was posted up, and the brothers showed it to us in our little comment chat, whatever. And pretty much, this is posted today as well. I'm not gonna read into it, but I'm just gonna show you just how pretty much if you're not with the mo, the operation, the conduct of this current wicked society, pretty much the society's got nothing to do with you. All right, so this is an article that says San Francisco to provide housing subsidized for low-income transgender, non-gender conforming residents. So pretty much if you're a sodomite, transgender, you pretty much have a meal ticket in the society. That's complete wicked. It's complete confusion. But anyways, so all these things are happening. We gotta be watchmen. We gotta see all these things and then break it down. And eventually, suddenly, actually, it's all gonna go into play, meaning Jacob's trouble, the famine of the word, World War III, and then those missiles falling, and Yahweh Shai's return. It's all gonna go down, whether you believe it or not, because people's disbelief is not going to slow down the prophecies. As you can see, the way that Donald Trump said it in this Donald Trump, he believes that this stuff is going to be good. It's going to be taken care of soon. It doesn't matter about his disbelief of sedition among men and all these riots happening amongst people. He doesn't believe that that's going to happen. He believes that this is just going to get fixed, and it's not gonna. He doesn't believe it's going to continue and get to the point where martial law has to be instilled, as much as it can around the world. Alright, so I'm gonna read this again. It's Matthew 24:12. It says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." And the love of many is because all these people, they used to just have no problem waking up 9 to 5, going to work, going back to home, and then partying on the weekends or whatever. But it's getting so bad that the love of many is waxing cold. People just don't care anymore, and they're over here shooting people. Like I don't know the exact information. I guess a protester got shot. Over here in America, you got the Trumpsters versus the anti-Trumpsters, whatever, left and right, and they just want to kill each other. Like if it wasn't for these see if I can get the clip again. If it wasn't for these cops right here, they would literally be just killing each other. This is a precept to go with that. It says Isaiah 19:2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against the city, and kingdoms against kingdoms." Because the love of many is wax cold. There's just too much stuff going on in these end times. Like a bug out off the street will tell you that these are the end times. Disregarding Donald Trump saying that all these problems are going to be alleviated. It'll take care of itself soon. Well, the only thing that's going to take care of it is a thermonuclear missile and the return of Yahweh Shai, and then putting the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, as the rightful rulers of this world. Alright, so this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And this is speaking about the seditions among men, all these protests, and also about World War III. All these people are going to come together so they can fight each other for this last battle of World War III. Verse 16 says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes." And you see that very plainly right here. These people don't regard their was your mayor? So I don't know, like the king of Hong Kong. I'm just gonna say it like that. They don't regard the king of Hong Kong's decision making. And the same thing over here is these people don't regard the king of Babylon's decision making. They don't regard. I'm gonna read it again. Verse 16 says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." So all these happenings, it's pretty much going to bring in martial law. And so one of the reasons why the people in Hong Kong are doing these riots is because they don't want to be on the Chinese lifestyle where they have all these cameras, CCTV everywhere. But ultimately, it's going to happen. Everyone's gonna, be provided with you're either gonna get this chip, the RFID chip, to be a member of society, or you're gonna get this guillotine. Because this is all leading to prophecy. All these little things are leading to prophecy. Like this thing right here, it's leading to the prophecy of the mark of the beast. Because if you don't want to partake in this crazy battle right here, just take the chip, go back into society, everything will be good. You'll be fed and all that stuff. Alright, so verse 18, I'm going to read that again. It says, "For because," I'm going to read verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Verse 18 says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." It's getting to that point. Pretty soon it's going to be like a post-apocalyptic movie. It's going to be, well, specifically, the men of great millstones during Jacob's trouble. We'll be kept safe from all these, all these wilds and stuff. But pretty much during that times we have to be pilgrims on the earth. Alright, so I'm gonna end this off on a good note. I'm gonna start here. So it's Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." And we see that the wicked are ruling and the people are mourning. And Ecclesiastes 7:7 says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." And we're seeing that, amongst our people, oppression is making the wise man mad. But ultimately, the prophecies in this book, it states pretty much that, the rightful heirs of this world are going to be put into power. And I'm going to read it. So this is Jeremiah 23:5. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh power, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch." And when they're speaking about that righteous branch from David, it's talking about Yahweh Shai. And it says, "And a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth." So once we're in charge of the known world, pretty much the kingdom, the heavens, and all that stuff, is we're going to reign, righteously, and we're gonna judge according to the scriptures. Alright, so that's the end of this video. I will give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakwadash, Shalom Akim.